Well, good evening. Good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies of the round table, I want to thank you so much for joining. Hey, Michelle, what's up? I'm on TikTok. Sorry. Yes, I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. And I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TokTik. Sorry, TikTok. um, well, this is Thursday night. Thursday night. I'm here Thursday night tonight, and going to be a very interesting discussion. I try to find some of the topics within the UK, and just to bring up to speed as to latest developments. Thank you so much for joining. Those who are here already, Melinda, Parjad, Hannah, thank you, and Michelle on TikTok, and those on Instagram as well. Thank you so much for joining. Sir Ramsey, thank you so much for joining. And tonight I'm hoping to have Blacker Dread. Hopefully to have Blacker Dread, who's gonna come on, and he's doing some work getting some relief efforts in Jamaica, which is very interesting. Lots of people are doing things for. I tell you, one of the fantastic thing about Jamaica is that a lot of people are doing things for Jamaica. A lot of people are doing fantastic things for Jamaica, and one of the things which I launched today was the airfare plan, the strategy of challenging Virgin, challenging BA to actually reduce it to £500, so Jamaicans can. And I tell you what, and I'm just looking here on TikTok. I'm looking at TikTok, and so far I posted a video earlier today. It's now at 8,327. 8,327. So it's going viral now on TikTok, and the comments which are coming through is awesome. Agree, Melinda there, Ben's business in the UK. I mean, lots of people are commenting. So far, 111 comments. People are saying yes, they are ready to join the lobby factor. So that's it. People are wanting to get on board. So without further ado, let me just get the ball rolling and welcome. Yeah, just dance the night away. I'm trying to say. Listen, I tell you, I like that tune actually. When I started my talk show, 2015, I wanted an upbeat tune in a sense. No matter what, bringing an upbeat thing. Sometimes things can be dreary, sometimes things can be dry, and sometimes things can be dead. So I like to bring in a sort of nice vibes as well, to get it ball rolling. And I want to thank so much for persons who come onto the platform regular. Myself, Gary's overseas now, so he may not come in, but nevertheless, still, I always say the show must go on, and the one of the first things that I want to talk about today is about interest rates. Yeah. And interest rates have been held by the big belly man. The big belly man is the governor. I call him the big belly man, Andrew Bailey. Myself and Gary always laugh at him by calling him big belly man. But I think he has been going to the gym because he's lost some weight, as well. So the latest rate, the current bank rate is 4%. 4%. And the next due date of where they're going to look at it is 18th of December. And the current inflation rate is 3.8%. So, things are coming down, and the rate of inflation remains above the 2% target, but they think it will fall from there. And if that happens, interest rate will probably come to fall gradually. We'll do what is necessary to get inflation back to 2%. Now, for those and I'm not an expert on this, but what I know very well is that if you somehow went into some sort of fixed thing when you saw the interest rate was going up, man, you're gonna get busted, because if it goes down to 2%, you're gonna have to hell with that bank for the next maybe 4 or 5 years. So today, the Monetary Policy Committee (MPC), which is responsible for maintaining monetary stability by working to keep inflation low and stable, it meets 8 times a year to decide what interest rate is needed to return inflation or keep it at the 2% target over time. So Governor Andrew Bailey, I call it the Big Belly Man, explained the reason behind the latest decision, excluding these key points. He said, today we held interest rates at 4%. Since August last year, we have been able to cut rates 5 times. Inflation has come down a long way from its peak 3 years ago, but it remains too high. In our decision to hold interest rates, today we have balanced the risk that above target inflation becomes more persistent against the risk that demand in the economy is weakening, which might cause inflation to fall too low. If inflation stays on track, we expect to be able to gradually cut rates further. All right. And I got a video of Mr. Andrew Bailey, not the big belly man, not the big belly man. He's losing some weight. And I'm going to see if I can actually find it and maybe play it. Interest rates with Mr. Andrew Bailey. And here it is. If we can find a bit of it. Here it is.
We've held bank rate at 4% today. Inflation remains above our 2% target. It's currently 3.8%. I expect it now to come down, but we need to see more evidence of that before we can cut interest rates further.
Okay, so what he said right there.
There is some evidence of slower growth in the economy now, but inflation remains above our target. We've cut interest rates 5 times. It's currently 4% for bank rates. I think we will cut again, but we need to see more evidence now that inflation is coming down.
All right. So if
we say one thing with certainty, we'll be meeting again in December.
Sorry, that's it. I don't want to hear anymore. Yeah. So the interest rate factor there, that's a very interesting one, which we're seeing happening in the UK, and I'm sure a lot of persons are very happy about that. One of the things is that when interest rates go down, of course, lending or saving tends not to be very great. And that is something which is very challenging and interesting. And one of the reasons why I tend to want to, going against the grain of just talking about, maybe just Jamaica bit. I think it's very important to reflect as to what is happening here in the UK. I think that is very important. What it means that borrowers could get an early Christmas present if the bank decides to cut rates on 18th of December, which is the next time they meet. And the bank cuts the rate when it wants to increase spending by consumers, and business raises it when it wants to control inflation. One of the things we always say about interest rate as well is that when they cut it down lower, more spending, and then more spending, then inflation goes up. And they say, hang on a second, they're going to try to increase it again in order to, if inflation has peaked as its old interest rate at 4%. But anyway, that's the most important thing, and that's the good news, if anything, that interest rate has been held, and chances are it may go down even further, giving everyone a Christmas present, all being well. The next thing which I find very interesting is you may have been following about what has been happening in regards to prisoners being released early. Prisoners being released early. That is something which is challenging right now in the UK. Prisoners being released early. And when Labour came into power, Labour did a thing where they released a lot of prisoners early. Now, what is happening now is that there's a clerical error which may have been behind the release of missing sex offender. More details have emerged about the circumstance surrounding the release in error of a convicted sex offender. Brahim Kado, sheriff as the hunt continues for the missing prisoner. He is one of the two men separately released by mistake from Wandsworth prison. In the past week, William Billy Smith has since handed himself in. So one has handed himself in. And in a way, chances are these guys were out there going about their business, not knowing that they are now un persona, un grata. Chances are that they are, being looked at and looked for. And so the BBC has established that Kado was released on 29th of October, the day after being found not guilty of a breach of sex offender register, but he was still facing all charges and should have remained in custody. I was watching an interaction with, I think it was a Guardian, and the Prime Minister wasn't a question time. David Lammy was a question time. David Lammy apparently, and he said it is the first black person who is answering questions at the dispatch box on behalf of the Prime Minister. One will say, well, Rishi Sunak was there, but really and truly, ladies and gentlemen, black, Rishi Sunak is not black in the sense of black, black in the sense of the political correct term, when Operation Black Vote would say that persons are black. But David Lammy is black. Rishi Sunak, as I would say, is not black, but is a shade of dark. And the whole thing in regards to Lammy's calamity, I'm going to see if this is the one. Yep, here it is. Just play this, just a brief bit here, and look at this exchange. And I'm going to play this exchange here.
Another foreign criminal has been accidentally released from a UK prison.
And at PMQs, it looked like the Justice Secretary, Calamity Lammy, didn't know.
Can he reassure the House that since Kabatu was released, no other asylum-seeking offender has been accidentally let out of prison? It's a clear question. Can he give an answer?
Deputy Prime Minister. Get a grip, man. I know I'm the Justice Secretary. That's why I'm at the dispatch box, also as Deputy Prime Minister.
Get a grip, man.
I know that. I'm not going to pray an aid. Dame Anne Owens is a former Deputy Commissioner in London, head of the NCA. It is for her to get to the bottom of that work. Of course, we know.
Tim, you've just...
I must say, David Lammy is very comfortable at the dispatch box. One cannot say that. Whether you like him or not, he is very comfortable in his skin. Let me hear further.
come back from what I think is one of the most bizarre PMQs of recent memory.
I was there, and I can't tell my own grandchildren about it, but I will tell other people's grandchildren about it. It's spun on a dime, as they say. It's got American in my head because of the New York election. James Cartledge was standing in.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. James Cartledge was standing in for Kemi Badenoch against David Lammy, who was standing in for Keir Starmer. Why? Because Keir Starmer has flown to the environmental summit of COP.
Along with Sadiq Khan. They're all in Brazil with Prince William.
Historians will
Opining.
laugh at the fact that people flew to environmental summits.
Absolutely
Anyway,
ridiculous.
so Keir Starmer's out of the country. David Lammy's replacing him. And this guy called James Cartledge is not very well known, but who I popularized in my sketch as having strong hair.
Yes, and eyebrows.
He is a man with very strong hair.
Touch of the Alistair Darlings about him.
And so when it began, we all sort of thought, how's this going to play out? Because David Lammy has a reputation for being Calamity Lammy.
Yes.
Fair or not, I mean, it did, whenever Lammy fills in for someone at PMQs, it makes you think of like Chaplin does Hamlet. How's this going to go?
Went on as Hamlet, came off as omelette.
In fact, it was his first PMQs, and as he pointed out, it was a historic one. As he pointed out, he is also the first black person to speak on behalf of the Prime Minister at PMQs. So it had a historical vibe. Anyway, we're all thinking, how are these two understudies going to play it?
Skip.
Lammy, but actually it looked as though Lammy had a very good PMQs because it looked as though James Cartledge had cocked it up.
He's the Shadow Defence Secretary, I should point out,
Okay.
just in case. And he is also the son-in-law of Gerald Howarth, if
Okay.
that means anything to Thatcher fans.
It's a small world. James Cartledge had one question to ask, which was this.
Can he reassure the House that since Kabatu was released, no other asylum-seeking offender has been accidentally let out of prison.
Whatever you think of the strengths or the weaknesses of that question, Cartledge went on to ask it 6 times.
Was it 6 or was it 5?
Well, this is the thing. He asked the question so often that we lost count of how many times he had asked it. And it looked as though he got up to ask it again for a 7th time, but the speaker questioned that and told him to sit down.
Let's listen to Lindsay Hoyle intervening and trying to work out the maths of the situation.
My constituent, Georgia Hart.
Well, I got it to 6. James Cartledge. Order. It is 6. All right. 6, you've had your 6. Sorry, I was correct. Jonathan Brass.
Again.
So anyhow, so what has happened today in the House is that David Lammy is representing the Prime Minister, and the other gentleman is representing Kemi Badenoch. What happened is that if the Prime Minister is away, the opposition would not be the leader; it would be another person of a lower level, if anything, who will be supporting or representing the opposition leader. Keep it on even keel. But what turned out in this whole episode, even though this opposition member who was representing Kemi kept asking the same question, and he kept asking the same question 6 times, then Lammy was having a go at him by saying, come on, man, I know my job. I know I'm the Justice Secretary and I'm the Deputy Prime Minister. That's why I'm here. Then at the same time, something came through on the phone to say another member, another person has been released by error. And then they brought that into the equation. So what started out looking great for Lammy turned out very bad for Lammy. And what looked like was turning bad for that opposition member has turned out very good for him. And let us watch some of the interactions right here before we go any further.
Again, regardless of the strengths of the question, the fact that he asked it again and again tested the patience of the House.
And David Lammy.
David Lammy thought he had given a fair enough answer, and Lammy eventually lost what little patience he had and said this.
It's a clear question. Can he give an answer?
Deputy Prime Minister.
Get a grip, man. I know I'm the Justice Secretary. That's why I'm at the dispatch box, also as Deputy Prime Minister. We know that. I'm not going to pray in aid. Dame Anne Owens is a former Deputy Commissioner in London, head of the NCA. It is for her to get to the bottom of that work. Of course, we know that there have been spikes since 2021 under his watch. When did he come to this House and apologise?
By the end of this back and forth, it looked as though it had been a disaster for poor James Cartledge, and Lammy kind of did okay in the rest of the PMQs. He can be very good at this thing. As someone...
Although, can I point out one thing that went a little bit wrong for him?
Right, I know what it's going to be, yeah.
He starts out in PMQs, and I keep on getting messages as I'm watching it on my computer, doing a bit of tweeting as one does. He's not wearing a poppy. He's not wearing a poppy. By the time those messages came through, he was wearing a poppy. So then I had to rewind the Telegraph live stream of PMQs, which we do every Wednesday, should you ever want to watch it on the website. And then I thought, no, hang on. At the beginning of all this, he's not wearing a poppy. Suddenly, somewhere halfway in between, in fact, after 20 minutes, one appears on his lapel. He then confesses to having bought a new suit and how important poppy wearing is. But if it's that important to the Justice Secretary, why on earth didn't he have one on all day?
Yeah.
So that was a bit bizarre.
Yeah.
I think his whole demeanour...
It was a new suit.
It was a new suit.
A new suit had been bought for him for remembrance, therefore it wasn't one with a poppy on.
I know. His godmother, he said, because he had this big moment in PMQs that his godmother had bought him this new suit. But I merely make the point that you've got to have some chutzpah to start talking about the importance of poppies on Remembrance Day when you haven't worn one for half of the session.
David is also very anecdotal. So, for instance, when there was a question about Scotland, he said, I'm 5% Scottish. I'm surprised he didn't tell us that he served in the Second World War or that he gave birth in a maternity war.
Come on,
that
is really something else.
Anyway, by the end of the session, it looked as though, Calamity Lammy had got away with it and Cartledge had really embarrassed himself. And then our phones went off. Our phones went off to say that the Telegraph had broken a story.
Uh-oh.
Which was
that we had discovered at 12:30 p.m., so this is half an hour, this is at the end of PMQs, that another foreign prisoner has been accidentally released from prison. So following on from the farce that was Hadush Kabati being accidentally released from HMP Chelmsford.
They've gone and done it again.
So that was a migrant involved in the Epping scandal. Cartledge had been standing up for the whole of PMQs asking Lammy, do you know of any other prisoners that have been released? Can you rule out other prisoners having been released accidentally?
Lammy gives a non-answer.
And then Cartledge has his Columbo moment, stands up and makes a point of order. As a point of order, clearly, God love Cartledge, he's got our breaking news alert thing on his app, which kind of flashes up any latest news stories.
And I'm very proud to say he quoted this newspaper.
It's on a serious issue, I think, Mr. Speaker, just to be clear. The Telegraph are reporting that a police manhunt has been launched for a second asylum seeker mistakenly freed from prison. The question is, Mr. Speaker, can you advise me on how I can ask the Justice Secretary whether he was aware of this when I asked him about it repeatedly in Prime Minister's question?
You want to? No. You put it on the record.
So from a PMQs, which Lammy bossed and Cartledge flopped, it suddenly looked as though Lammy had had a disaster of a PMQs.
Eve's and me.
Yep. So that was that there in regards to Prime Minister's question time, and Kemi Badenoch wasn't there, but that was served, if anything. So Lammy had a great day. I would say Lammy had a great day at the same time, being at Dispatch Box and really being vibrant. Lammy, whether people like him or not, I would say he's a very exciting chap, and he holds his own. And he'll stand his own, even when the recent stabbing in the synagogue there, and they booed him, but he went there as the representative of the government, representing the Prime Minister, and as a Deputy Prime Minister, and he read the speech, even though he was booed, and that is very commendable at the same time, because one has got to have a thick skin when it comes on to this. As much as possible. So clerical error. The whole issue now, I would say, is who is going to be responsible for this? Is it going to be the prison service? Is it going to be the director of prison, or is it going to be the Justice Secretary, which is David Lammy? Who is going to be a fall guy? Because David Lammy did say that they have set up rigorous check, whereby it is going to be very difficult for someone to be released by that. But you're seeing 2 now, and chances that it'll be more. Now they're saying 260 so in the 1 year, persons who are being released by error by the government. But in the Conservative time, over a period, it was 800, right? So yes, of course, the Labour has more, but it shows you what is happening. So what they're saying, there's a very old sort of system that they have, if anything, and that is something that need a massive overhaul, because even the Shadow Justice Secretary said, well, he saw this morning. Silver, it happens all the time. They make excuses, So that's very interesting. What is happening there? The next thing that I want to go before hopefully Black Dread comes in is there's something very interesting. Democrats in the U.S. Congress is asking Andrew to appear for questioning over Epstein links, right? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. They're asking Prince Andrew, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. So they're asking Mountbatten Windsor to come to Congress. Now, I'm asking this question. If you were advising Andrew, would you go? If one was advising Andrew, would you go to the United States? Right? because what it said. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been asked by Democrats in U.S. Congress to answer questions as part of its investigation into pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein. All right. Members of the House Oversight Committee wrote to Andrew in a letter addressed to Royal Lodge, Windsor Great Park, which the former princess agreed to leave. The committee does not have the power to compel Andrew to appear in front of them, but said it intends to ask questions related to information on Epstein network and associate based on the pair's long-standing friendship. If I was advising Andrew, I would say, we're not going away. Hello, long time no see. I've just emailed you extract from my university dissertation. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah. I don't know. If I was advising Andrew, I would stay out of the United States of America, if anything. In a posthumous memoir published in October, Virginia Goff, a prominent accuser of Epstein, repeated allegation that as a teenager she had sex with Andrew on 3 separate occasions. Andrew denies accusations. Right? She's gone. There's no way. If anything, one can prove it. It's going to be his words against somebody who is gone. And therefore, I think it's for Andrew, more than likely. That's it. That's the end for Andrew. There's no need for Andrew to say anything more. You know what I'm trying to say? So if I was advising Andrew, I'll say, Andrew, stay at your yard. You know what I'm trying to say? Stay at your yard as much as possible. You know what I mean? Definitely. But the interesting thing now, though, at the same time, is that in regards to Jamaica, we have seen the Prime Minister. What the Prime Minister said? The Prime Minister said, well, we have done the preparation and now we're ready to go in. That's what he said today. We have done the preparation and now we're gonna go in. And I must say that I've seen a lot of persons doing lots of work, lots of persons actually getting in Jamaica. You're seeing the dancehall artists, you're seeing Shaggy, you're seeing Ramesh, you're seeing Agent Sasko, you're seeing all the different persons getting in. Spice, everyone. Listen, how these guys are getting in there, and the government can't get in the places as well. But I'm going to bring in Blacker Dread, because Blacker Dread is also here in the UK getting what should I say, barrels ready to roll down in Jamaica. Sir Blacker Dread, what's going on?
There, I'm a king. Give thanks to life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was just talking a while ago about the different efforts that lots of people are getting in there and just really going about just doing things. Now wait upon about it, just to do it.
Yes, man. That is it.
So tell us about because I was looking, I couldn't find the video again. I saw a video when you went into a store, but it just lost me. I couldn't find it a while ago when you were bringing the blue barrel.
Yeah.
In Brixton, isn't it?
Well, one of the things what we are doing, we are say our community always spend our money with other people, right?
Yeah.
No disrespect, but we always go into other people's shop and we buy things from them. So my thing is that some of these shops, I'm bringing barrels to them and asking them kindly, could you please fill these barrels? And if you would like to leave one for your customers, that if they buy 1 tin of milk, them can buy one and drop in the barrel. So
okay,
we want them, the Indian shops per se, that sell our Jamaican products to us, to be in something back into the community. And so far I've had very favorable thing, because this is a catastrophe. This is really unprecedented. So I think it reached everybody, that them realize that this thing is not just a normal thing that happened.
And you weren't down in Jamaica, Blacker?
No, I weren't down there when it happened, but I was here and I was avidly watching everything, because is our place. So we have to know what is going on.
Yeah, yeah. And so so how can people then so you're working with some guys them to get this things out, isn't it? What's the timeline for it to go down to Jamaica?
Well, we work in exclusive ourselves. We have a little link with Victoria Mutual, but it's not confirmed. But basically, people like Styler G, who is an artist from up here, him reach out to me. We were already doing our thing, saying that we're going to get some barrels and some containers. So the management for Pop Brixton, one of the directors, Harry, reach out to me. We're doing things with him. So we do free dances, and they actually pay me to put on a free dance for them because they bar money. So I spoke to him and said, listen, Harry, this thing is bigger than us, so we need to change up what we're doing and turn it into a relief. So tomorrow night in Pop Brixton, which is on Station Road in Brixton, we're going from 6 till 12. We'll be there. We're connecting donations, whether it's monetary or food stuff. We don't really want a lot of people. A lot of people bring in second-hand clothes, but I'm not really, to be honest, I'm not into that part of it. I have other people bring in brand new clothes as well, so that's good. Jamaica people proud. Although them hurricane they always lift off and think them not really. I go want second-hand clothes, which is it's lovely for people to bring these things, but we want food items. We want school thing. We want thing we can help rebuild back Jamaica, like tools. So we're teaming up with Pop Brixton and a next venue.
Is that POT? POT?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pop Brixton.
POP. Pop.
Oh, POP.
Pop Brixton is like a container city in Brixton.
Yes.
It's like a minute's walk from the police station, 30 seconds walk from Brixton Recreation Center, and maybe 3 to 4 minutes walk from Brixton Tube Station.
So that's Friday the 7th at
Brixton Pop Brixton, POP. It's called Pop Brixton,
And that's from what time you said it was?
6 p.m. till 12 p.m.
6 p.m. to 12 p.m. So ladies and gentlemen, tune in and pop down to. I like it's interesting what you mentioned a while ago about not secondhand thing, because I heard a lady actually was saying people mustn't. I know people in Jamaica may be desperate and without certain things, but don't just take up some secondhand tier of clothes or whatever like that,
No.
Yeah.
For me, I think shoes, maybe secondhand shoes were not too bad, not so bad. Cause you put it on your foot, you walk on ground. So those things, I'm not too worried about that. If we get decent ones, I'll take them. But the secondhand clothes where you have thrown in your garage for a year or two, and have nothing to do with them, we don't honestly, we don't want those, because we have so many things. I mean, it's been a wonderful response, and I'd like to mention people like the Soup Kitchen. Kitchen, they're inundated. The amount of things where people bring or drop off around there. So I had a meeting with them yesterday, and I said, look, we're doing this together. We're all in Brixton. These youths growing on my hand. Them go school with my children, and they're doing wonderful things. Them go Jamaica, and them do food for the poor, and them go up on the road and give food to people. So I said, let me reach out to him. And I reached out to him last night, and he was very appreciative. I've said why I came to see him. And, him said to me, can I have 10 barrels to fill?
Yes.
And I bought 10 barrels and gave him this evening, because we want a minimum of 100 barrels, and we're going to put them in a containers and bring them down. Yes. And we're also going to be on the ground ourselves to collect our container and be on the ground and making sure it reached to the relevant people that need it. A few other stores like, all right, so Sports Direct in Brixton are going to give us socks and shorts and vests and stuff B&Q, so then we help us with some tools and things like that. So we're reaching out to people within the community that our community have been
supportive.
right? So that's my ethos. I'm not really looking at everybody if you just bring. I'm going to those big people who have the means and can help without, even the manager say if we wait until head office, it's gonna take 3-4 weeks, so we're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Then we
Yeah.
put the request. So that can show you people see the urgency. And also the shops them accept barrels. And I bring that video that you saw, I done that
Yes.
yesterday at about 7 o'clock. When I went there this evening at 5 o'clock, the barrel was full.
Yes.
The barrel's already full, and him asking me for 2 more because people is coming and saying they want to give. So a lot of people giving silver, and a lot of people.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I tell you, one of the things that what I realize is that, and I think you said it as well, a lot of people are just really helping, reaching out to Jamaica as much as possible. And I think the most important thing that we want, the least thing is the donation. It is actually getting it there.
You're
Right.
Right.
And really getting some sort of waiver. I think the government has given a waiver for a month, but I understand this has been increased. That's been increased, so maybe up to December.
Okay, that would be wonderful because
Yeah.
Bricks and Soup Kitchen is also a registered charity.
Yes.
They get all OB and them thing there, so they're proper registered, and they're reaching out to some people, and some people already reach out to me, also saying that if we need help financially to ship the containers, they're willing and able to help to pay for the containers. They will buy the container and ship it. We're looking to carry at least about 4 containers. We're not play, because this is our country.
And what you're saying to me is that you're going to go down there with it to meet it. Are you going to let it reach?
Yes, man. We're gonna be down there. We have my team Inspiration down in Jamaica that we have already. It's something that we have set up. We have lots of people where we just do things anyway. So this is just gonna be an extension. And I'd love to give a shout out to Kingsdale School in Dulwich. Some teachers reached out to me and said, can they have 10 barrels because they want to send school things down for the children, books and pens. And so people reaching out. The video is reaching out to a lot of people, and we're getting a lot of people interested. So a big shout out to Kingsdale. Them take 10 barrels. So them getting delivery in the morning of those 10 barrels.
Well, definitely. Well, one of the things I'll do is definitely to cut one aspect of the show and to put it out there with the work and the efforts that you're doing down there. One of the things that I was listening to something earlier when they said they approached one of the airlines, and the airlines wasn't really supportive. So what I've started to do, Blacker, if you remember years ago, I was doing the airfare lobby to try to cut the plane fare. Remember? Well, I started it up back now. Somebody pushed me to do it. What we're doing is challenging Virgin, BA, and TUI to have a ceiling of £500 for people to go down for that period of time, maybe up to 6 months, 3 months to 6 months or so. A lot of people.
I think that's absolutely brilliant, because to go to Barbados, I was quoted £400 to go to Barbados. And is that a different Caribbean from our Caribbean?
Yes.
Jamaica is not in that Caribbean, that Barbados, a different place. So why we have to pay 1,800 and then pay 450?
And the whole thing about it is, as you rightly say, that people are paying some exorbitant price. But I place it on TikTok, Blacker, and it's now near to 10,000. I don't know. It could be over 10,000 now. A couple hours ago, it's over 10,000, and everybody's saying, yes, I'm ready to go down. I'm ready to go down if it dropped to 500. Because a lot of people want to go home to hold their family, to hug them, to be there for their families, to help be a part of the respite process.
Yeah. Spoke to people today who told me that they still haven't want to buck up on my bridging today, and him say, boy, like I just can't even get hold of my father from last, and I don't know, and I'm worried and things like that. So, me said to him, say, boy, your father good, man. Don't worry yourself, man. Your father good. I just the connection no good. And while I'm on it, I need to say big shout out to Carib Shipping. We not promote people, but we have to promote good people. Carib Shipping donate barrels to it.
Yes.
Carib Shipping gonna help us to ship the stuff, Sackville Travel said them will pay for send one of the container them for it.
Yes.
So these people are pushing out, you know. And you know, I love this thing about the airfare business, Silbone. I think you should
Yeah.
put that, and I think you'll get 1 million people, because
Yes.
4 million people go Jamaica every year.
Yes, man. And
So
especially
people
now, a lot of people going on. I'm just looking at it now. It's over 10K. It's over
Right.
10K, and people are just commenting. So it's gonna go big. And all we have done so far is just sensitizing the community.
Right.
And we're going to spread it out, and you guys and everything. And we're going to challenge Virgin and BA and TUI to, hey, listen, we have been patronizing your business, just like how you have been going into these stores. And these stores can't deny it, because when we go down to Brixton and them places, they have everything for you in it. And
and sadly, we have any our thing.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, and a lot of people out there don't realize, because even when you try to unite them and say, listen, support your own, because they've been going to these shops for years, they continue going there. That's where they feel comfortable. I don't blame them to do it still, you know. But sometimes we have to stand up and back our own people, because we need them. We need prosperity in our community as well.
Yes. Well, thanks for that, Blacker. But Blacker, before you go, people might be wondering, who is Blacker Dread?
I'm wondering who he is also myself.
Original from Brixton.
I'm just a Jamaican youth who come to England when I was young.
Yeah.
And I've been involved in the Brixton community for over 40 years.
Yes.
I used to do Brixton Splash that bring between 20 and 45,000 people annually to Brixton, and them stop it because it said it was too popular and we were getting too many people. I owned record shop in Brixton for over 30 years.
That's why I met you. Yeah.
Yeah. So the community know me. I'm a community person. I've always worked. People come to me and tell me that their children misbehaving. Can you talk to them? People come and tell me that there's people in homes that need people to visit them. I go and visit them. I used to appropriate adult go to police station for little youths who down there and them parents, because I was a youth that my parents said them now come. My father said, no, I'm not coming to no station. I never send you. Yeah, big man, deal with it. And so I do that's Blacker Dread in a nutshell. You know, we do everything. Do everything.
And I tell you what, I remember when I came to the UK in '92, and Brixton used to be a nice place. I used to like go down to Brixton and hear the man of my cuss bad word, because it brought me at home, you know. I feel like and I'm not saying they're cussing bad word in your place, but I used to go out and check you out at your shop there on Cole Harbour Lane.
Yes.
You know?
I remember that Stillborn. That's where I know you from.
Yeah, twins and them guys. I remember this guy used to ride bicycle. He used to ride bicycle and you know that guy?
The prettiest bicycle in Brixton, right?
Yeah.
Even Jamaica, you know, with the same bicycle, you know, him have one of Jamaica as well, you know.
Wow.
Put a Jamaican flag, and everywhere him go all of Europe with this bicycle as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No, it is great. Linking up Blacker, I must say, and I promote this, and as well look for your video, and I just cut it and just promote the video as well. And thanks for your service and what you're doing for Jamaica at the same time in Brixton.
Yeah, man. I like to thank the people for their response, because I mean I even passed JN this evening, and when I look in there, I see a lot of stuff in there. Brixton Soup Kitchen, like I said. Them have so much thing in there. I don't even think 10 barrel can clear one of stuff for them have. And people them who's putting out the effort for Jamaica, because land we love. There's no one else about that.
We got
our people. I mean, I come from St. Thomas, so we didn't get much damage. I live in Kingston. We never get much damage. But when I see the devastation in Jamaica, it's not nice. It's not nice, people. So push out for we and do what you can do. We'll have credit card machines tomorrow that you can donate. It goes into an account that's gonna stay there. It's only gonna help to do what it can do, which is to help the ship. And then Jamaica, if we can do things in Jamaica, not if we're gonna do things in Jamaica. So if you just feel like donate, because people contact me and say, look, I would prefer to donate some cash. So we set up a designated account which is only that. And we're gonna have 3 responsible people who are gonna be
Yes.
the signatures, and the money. No one person can touch the money or anything like that. So this is gonna be a community effort, and we're gonna be transparent. And everything that we do, we're gonna video so people can see that the stuff that them give us, you know. And we
Yeah.
have a itinerary. Whatever we get, everything is written down, and whatever goods we get, we write down everything also. So we are dealing with transparency, and
I'm gonna. Yeah. Go on,
nowadays social media you can't hide.
Yes, yes, yes. I was asking. I'm gonna try to see if I can even pop down to Brixton tomorrow. If anything.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. Blacker, listen. I saw David change come on TikTok a while ago. You know, so the young David is from St. Thomas, isn't it?
Yeah, man. I'm a virgin man. We grow with David. And big up Styler G. Styler G. First man contact me 50 barrel. Nice.
Yes.
That is so wonderful. You have to give thanks when people come around and you see them put them effort out, you know. And thank you for having me on your show. That means more people hearing what we're doing as well. You know, it's great.
Yes, Blacker. All right, Blacker. Thank you so much for that, and the great work that a lot of the artists. I must say, the artists, you guys have really come off the jump out. You know, wait for a body. Now wait for a body. You know.
Yeah, man. We make we living from this music. You know, this music that was created in Jamaica by our predecessors, and a lot of us have benefit from it. So I think giving back is only fair, cause when them say, to who much is given, much
so
is
much
what
required. Yes,
that is it.
All right, Blacker. All the best, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Give
and your hair is still the longest, yeah?
Yeah, man. It's still long, man. you know, we at Kevin fit on every minute.
All right. Respect, Blacker. Thank you so much. All right, respect.
Yeah, man. Give time.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Blacker. Cheers. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Blacker Dread. Blacker Dread, you know, pioneer, legend in Brixton, virgin of mine, you know, just found out about this whole initiative which he's doing in Brixton. I wanted to bring him on because a lot of people are doing things. And it is about being strategic as to how we can actually do things as well. Tomorrow, Pop Brixton, Friday the 7th, 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. One can pop down there. As I said, Pop Brixton, you can pop down there and you can actually contribute. And I like the idea of the concept of placing the barrels in the shops, these places which benefit a lot from Jamaican communities, and say, fill it up. And I think I saw, even in Jamaica, I think it was Hazan or whatever, I think Andre Stevenson went into one of those shops and the guy said, take what tapal you want or whatever like that. So a lot of people are coming on board, helping. The government also setting the whole logistics, because things are a bit opening up now. They can get in. And as I said, we are operating from all different fronts, you know, And the most important thing, as I said, is to do the airfare, trying to reduce the airfare. That is something which is so crucial. And I just placed the flyer up here, if I can find the flyer, and here's the flyer. The flyer is there. Community statement, call for feedback. Would you travel to Jamaica as well? And what it is about, it is challenging. Well, I wouldn't say challenging. It is asking Virgin and BA to say that we have been a great person. We use your services, Virgin, BA, and TUI. And what we are saying is, we have been supporting your airlines for years. We've been supporting it, and now we're asking you to stand with us, stand with Jamaica in this moment of need. The airfares, which are normally £500 or so, now, well, £500 what we want it to be, but because they're normally £1,800, £2,000, that's what some people are actually saying. What we're saying is, can you cap it for a period of time, 3 months or so? And and I think I did. I don't know if I have the video, Let me see if I can find the video which I did, and just play it, just a simple bit. When I was in the park this morning, yes, I just played.
You support an initiative for Virgin, BA, and TUI from London, from the UK, for £500 capped airfares to go to Jamaica at this time. Would you support that? And I tell you why. Jamaica is going through something catastrophic, right? A lot of Jamaicans in the UK, in the diaspora, have supported these organizations for years, Virgin, BA, TUI, right? At this moment, I believe that the tourism sector is impacted and may have an impact whereby a lot of persons may not be going to Jamaica as much due to the impact based on the hotels. I don't have the full figures. But therefore, guess what? Jamaicans can, in their droves, go down to Jamaica at this time. How that will be? Because guess what? The figures to go down to Jamaica, I'm getting to understand, because this is now the high season, is about £1,000, £1,800, £2,000 or so. What if they bring it down to £500? What if for the season, droves of Jamaican will go down? Droves of Jamaican will go down with hurricane relief. And guess what? One of the most important things that they go down with is their warmth, the love. Persons in St. Elizabeth, persons in Westmoreland, persons in those areas which are dire affected. Persons in the diaspora want to really hold their families close, want to give that level of respite. Can you imagine that? Think about that for a second, right? So those persons now will want to go to Jamaica, and instead of spending £1,800, £2,000, they are spending £500, and the rest can be due to help, and the rest can be dealing with staying over a longer time, giving some respite for those who are caring at the same time, for many persons who are homeless, many persons who are impacted, many persons who are mentally.
Yeah, that's a video which is on TikTok and Instagram. It's now on 10K, and it's going more than likely by tonight. It's going to be at 20K if anything or more. And some of the responses people are saying, there's also a survey which is in it in a way to sort of capture the voice of the people. So when we approach Virgin, approach BA, and approach TUI, we can say these are the people that are talking about it. People are saying things like, the big companies should take note. This needs to happen. I just want them to offer extra luggage. They should be 350 standard. I've seen some for 318. British Airways, Holiday, they tag them. We need our own, so we not have to beg nobody. Interested, you're saying this as I was thinking the same thing. I would love to help out. Cook out, I'm interested. Make it 300. People are reposting it. Virgin has cut flights to 2 days a week. Fares are a minimum 1,900. Now they hone up to 3K. They're canceling flights again. Well said. So people are talking about it, and people are looking about it. So and now's the time to actually push this initiative. It's now at 11K, and it's just driving up. So therefore, it and I must thank Azania Jem, who actually brought it back to my knowledge and said, Silburn, that campaign which you did led the campaign through my organization, Facilitators for Better Jamaica, in 2013, 2014, where you were campaigning and seeking to boycott Virgin, boycott BA, because of exorbitant airfares. She said, "Can you do that again, and cap it to £500?" So so she's the one that really pushed it and inspired it to really go on, Azania Gem, and I must thank her so much to push it. And then I team up with my guys within the lobby group, and we have pushed it, and it is a master stroke. And he's sharing it as well to persons who are not on TikTok. So it's not everybody on TikTok. So the video is going around. So the next phase is to write letter to Virgin BA And the next phase also is for persons to write to Virgin and to BA. And the next phase is just to get politicians, government involved and put that pressure. There we go. Have you asked for an interview with them? It's too early. We just did it today, phase by phase. What we did the last time, we did have a discussion. We met with British Airways directors. I never forget me and Paul Lawrence, the late Paul Lawrence, and I think it was Malik. And we went and we met with them in order to have a discussion. Not much happened then, but the APD was reduced. So I believe in being respectful and to not just to go about and making noise. That's not me. I believe in numbers. I believe it's very important that we have numbers. I believe that the community need to put their mouth or the money where the mouth is, and to say that they are going to do it, and they are going to be going to planes, and they're going to be going down to Jamaica. And so far, what I've seen, that is happening. And therefore, the next phase is just for the community to really pull together. And this is a community initiative, community effort. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining as well. And much appreciated the great work that people are doing. The Prime Minister, I must commend the government at the same time, not keep it high above politics for what they're doing. Must commend the artists, the musicians, the bloggers, and everybody who is there on the ground, who is doing something to help the persons get back to normality as much as possible. But one thing that I have to say, and I say this at the same time, and I believe the Prime Minister said it, that area are those areas where things are working. They've got to be in the production. They've got to get things, or the GDP in a sense, I've cut in some areas, and we've got to really work at it. We can't sit back on our laurels now. And the area which is the bread basket, St. Elizabeth, that need to be shifted to make all different areas in Jamaica, which can be bed basket, bread basket, not bed basket, bread basket. Okay, so without further ado, I want to thank you so much and have a good night. Remember to like and subscribe. Peace out and all the best.